Happy New Year's Eve, everybody. It is time to check out our vendor selections today. We're going to start off with the Scholarium vendor. Okay, first up we have Bound Affix Script Expedition. Adds Expedition, a buff increasing movement speed. Bound Focus Script Bleed Damage. Adds bleed damage. Bound Signature Script Immobilizing Strike. Adds an immobilization effect. Okay, let's move on. We are now in the Imperial City sewers. We're going to check out Here's the Stone and see what she has for us.
This is all cool.
First up, we have Glenumbra treasure maps. I absolutely do not think that these are worth 6,000 Telvar, but if you're curious, Glenumbra brings us Bloodthorn's Touch, Hide of the Werewolf, and Weird Tree's Blessing. You also have a chance of getting a lead for the Ancestral Orc bows or chess motifs. Next up are scripts. We have Bound Affix Script Cowardice. Adds Cowardice, a debuff reducing weapon and spell damage. Bound Affix Script Intellect and Endurance. Adds Intellect and Endurance, buffs increasing magicka and stamina recovery. Bound Focus Script Knockback. Adds a knockback. And Bound Signature Script Growing Impact. Adds enhanced buff and debuff application. Our first lead is Glomium Rivets. This one is for the Shadow Queen's Cowl. You will need Westweald in order to be able to dig this one up, but the lead itself comes from Somerset Geysers. Our next lead is Tatambu Chrysocolas. This one is for Left-Hander's Aegis Belt. You will need High Isle to dig this one up, but yet again, the lead comes from Somerset Geysers. I'm sensing a theme here. So this week, what you may want to consider doing is farming some Somerset Geysers if you need either one of these leads, and then make sure before next Tuesday morning, you come in here and grab whichever ones you still need. But yeah, that's funny. They both come from Somerset Geysers. Next up, we have Momentum Vibrant Yellow Skill Style for 65,000 Telvar. However, this is also available from the Undaunted Enclave. You can pick it up from Madge for 20 keys. Personally, I think 20 keys is easier to get than 65,000 Telvar, but I'm not much of a PvPer, so you may do more PvP than dungeons. It is here if you need it. And then finally, we have our jewelry. We have both the necklace and ring of Almalexia's Mercy, as well as the necklace and ring of the Harbinger. All right, time to go to the Infinite Archive and see what's there. And finally, we are in Infinite Archive, about to talk to Filer Ul to see what he has.
You see this area?
All right, first up, we have Vardenfell treasure maps. I think at 2,000 archival fortunes, this is still a little bit steep. Vardenfell is a little bit better than some of the other maps. You get Defiler, War Maiden, and Warrior Poet gear out of Vardenfell, but also there's a chance to get Buoyant Armiger motifs, as well as some pretty valuable maps have potential to drop. So these might be worth it. I still think they're pretty cheap to get from guild vendors instead of spending archival fortunes. So I'm not really recommending these, but they're a little bit better than some of the other ones. Our scripts. Bound Affix Script Defile. Adds Defile, a debuff reducing healing received. Bound Focus Script Frost Damage. Adds Frost Damage. Bound Signature Script Anchorite's Potency. Adds a Consume Soul Gem to grant ultimate effect. Our shoulder this week, or our style page this week, is the Nazare shoulder. We've been getting shoulders for a while now. Nazare drops from Shipwright's Regret. The mask, if this were the mask, I would say get it. Hard mode on Shipwright's Regret is a little spicy, but the shoulder is pretty easy to get if you're willing to wait for the Nazare mask to drop so that the Undaunted vendor has this one available for keys. But it is here for 15,000 archival fortunes if you want it. Companion equipment jewelry. This is the only one that I say is potentially worth getting. Jewelry, because you don't have to worry about light, medium, or heavy weights on it, if you get a decent trait, you can use it. So you have a much better chance of getting something that you want. At 5,000 archival fortunes, it's still a little spendy, but this one's not horrible. All right, disgusting spoils. Consume 25 disgusting spoils to unlock the Scheming Skeever's achievement and the Malographic Skeever pet. Again, at 7,000 archival fortunes, when you need 25 of them, this is really, really steep. You are guaranteed to get these fragments in a particular drop order if you just do your daily quest. So I'm not going to recommend this one either. All right, Dwarven Theodolite Head. This is for the Dwarven Theodolite pet, which drops out of Nichuleftingth Public Dungeon in Vardenfell. You need 7 different pieces to make this pet. They only run about 500 to 600 gold a piece if you get them off guild traders on PCNA. I don't really recommend this one. They also have an increased drop rate now. They increased the drop rate several months ago. So I think I'm going to recommend you just go to guild traders and pick this one up. Fragment of Aggression. This one is for Force Shock Wildburn skill style. You'll need, I think it's 5 different pieces, 5 different fragments. This one drops out of the Delve Haldane Lumber Camp in Westweald off of the Aggression of Root boss. These are a guaranteed drop the first time you try to get it. So if you can just go through the Delve and kill the boss, you will get this one. I say save your archival fortunes. Next up, Leeds, Face of the Wolf Beast. This one is for the Ring of the Wild Hunt. This particularly drops off of world bosses in Malabal Tor. I don't think this one's too terribly difficult to get. Next up, Lead Heartland Leather Gloves. This one is for the Rorken Steam Guards and drops off of the Fort Colovia Delve boss in Westweald. Now keep in mind, you will need Westweald in order to dig this one up. So if you don't have Westweald, you're not going to be able to buy this one. Again, I don't think this one's too terribly difficult to get. And last up, we have our books. We are starting off with Lord Hollowjack's Dream Realm, which is pretty exciting. This one drops out of Scrivener's Hall, which has notoriously horrible RNG. However, you need to know the eidetic memory first. And this one's a little tricky to get. It drops from Murkmire bookshelves. And unfortunately, bookshelves rotate daily. So you may run around Murkmire and not find it on your first pass. However, if you were on PCNA or PCEU, I have my house open. It is Spans Guildhall. It's my primary. It's the only one I have open on house tours. It is in the greenhouse on the floor in the middle of the floor. So if you need to learn it so you can come buy it, it is available for you if you were on PC, NA, or EU. All right, and last up, we have Oath of the Keepers. This one's a little bit easier. The eidetic memory comes out of Necrom Underways, and you pick up the book in Infinite Archive, or you can just buy it here for 1,000 archival fortunes. All right, let's run a couple arcs of Infinite Archive and see what Overland gear is dropping this week. We just ran a couple arcs of Infinite Archive, and this week we have gear dropping from East March. That includes Akaviri Dragon Guard, Fjord's Legacy, and Stendar's Embrace, as well as from the Reach, which includes Radiant Bastion, Void Collar, and Witch Knight's Defiance. Everybody have a wonderful new year, and we'll see you in 2025.